CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. Okay, Cascading Style Sheets. So CSS is a style sheet language used for describing the look and feel of the web document. Okay, CSS is a style sheet language. Okay, style sheet language and used for describing the look and feel of the web document. Okay, that is HTML form. So by using CSS, we can provide the look and feel of the web document, like background colors, text colors, okay, borders, okay, border styles, and font styles, and font size. Okay, so everything we can change using CSS. Okay, so document written in HTML language, and CSS is styles that defines layout of HTML documents. Okay, so for example, CSS covers fonts, colors, okay, margins, paddings, and we can provide we can apply height, width for the HTML elements, and background colors, background images. Okay, so all these things we can apply to the HTML elements using CSS. Okay, so here we have three ways to apply the CSS to the HTML elements. Okay, three ways to apply CSS to HTML elements. Okay, that is first one, external style sheet. Okay, external style sheet. And second one, internal style sheets. The internal style sheets and the inline styles. Okay, third one, inline styles. Okay, so these are the three ways to apply CSS properties or CSS classes to the HTML elements. Okay, CSS declaration always ends with a semicolon. Okay, CSS declaration always ends with a semicolon, and declaration groups are surrounded by curly braces. Okay, so for example, we want to uh, write one class in CSS. Okay, uh, class is defined with the okay dot symbol, and my class, this is the class name, and here CSS properties. Okay, and semicolon. So every property must should close with a semicolon. Okay, so every CSS property declaration ends with a semicolon, and all these properties are inside curly braces. So declaration groups. So this is one group. So this group are surrounded by curly braces. So this is one class. Okay, and within this class we can provide we can write number of CSS properties. Okay, so first of all, uh, external style sheets. External style sheets. So external style sheet is a ideal when the style is applied to many pages. Okay, so for example, you want to you want to apply, okay, same css styles, okay, for the multiple pages, okay, multiple web pages, okay. So here we can use uh, external style sheets, okay, we can use external style sheets. And when the style is applied to many pages, suppose you want to change page background, okay, suppose if you want to change page background for the application, okay, just modify it in css, okay, it will reflect to the entire application. You want to change page background, okay, background for the application, okay, application. So just you can change in .css file, okay, .css file. So it will reflect to the entire application, it will reflect to the entire application, okay. So entire application. So each page must link to the style sheet, okay, using link tag. So the syntax is use link tag and href attribute equal to .css file path, okay, and the type attribute is optional, okay, in the HTML file, and relation attribute we can use, okay. So this is the syntax for the external style sheets. So for example, so create an HTML form, sample. So here we have one div tag. So this div tag contains some information, okay, some content to display, okay. And I want to apply CSS properties, okay, for this div tag. Okay, here we can use ID of the div1, okay. So we have applied ID for the div. And one more thing is, if you are using external style sheets, you have to create the .css file, okay, my styles.css, okay. My styles.css file is created, and now here I want to apply CSS properties to the div tag using ID attribute, okay. So if you are using ID attribute to apply the CSS properties, okay, so use hash symbol, okay, and div1, okay, hash symbol and followed by div ID, div background color, okay. So one more thing, in real time applications compulsory use color codes only, okay, don't use color names, okay. So background color and text color triple F, okay, and border for the div tag and 2 pixel border and solid, and color is border, Okay, so this is the idea of the div, and we are applying CSS properties for the div tag using ID. Okay, div ID. So if you are using ID attribute to apply the CSS properties, use as symbol. Okay, so this is find the div tag with the ID div1 and apply CSS properties to the appropriate div tag. Okay, and next step is we have to call this .css file in the header section using link tag and href mystyles.css and relation attribute style sheet. Okay, so now you can run this example. Okay, so this background color is applied and border is, we have to increase this border. Okay, so this is the border color. Okay, so like this we can apply CSS properties using external style sheets. And the next one is internal style sheets. Internal style sheets. An internal style sheet should be used when a single document has a unique styles. Okay, internal style sheets needs to put in the head section of the HTML page. Internal style sheet needs to put, okay, needs to put in the head section. Head section of the HTML page. Okay, HTML document. Okay, so by using style tag. Okay, by using style tag. Okay, so if you are using the internal style sheets, you compulsory use style attribute, style tag. Okay, so here one more div tag. Okay, div tag and some content in the div tag. Okay, and I want to apply CSS properties for the div tag. Okay, use ID div2. Okay, so when you're using internal style sheets, okay, so internal style sheets will be placed in the head section of the page. Okay, by using style tag. Use style tag and hash div 2. Okay, div 2 background color. Okay, and the text color. Triple F means white color. Mm, div height 300 pixels and width 300 pixels. Okay, height, width, border color, background and text color. Okay, so now run this example. Okay, so div tag height width is applied, and background color, text color. Okay, these four properties are applied. Okay, so by using internal style sheets. Okay, so if you want to use individual styles for the uh, single page, okay, we can use internal style sheets. Okay, use style tag to include the styles in the HTML document. Okay, in header section. The next one is inline styles. So inline styles nothing but uh, if you want to apply a small piece of code, it has to be styled. Okay, uh, then inline style sheets can be used. If a small piece of a small piece of small piece of code has to be styled. It has to be styled. Okay, so use style sheets. Okay, use style sheets. Okay, so if you to use inline styles, okay, you can use style attribute in the relevant tag. Okay, so if you use style sheets, styles, if you use styles for the okay, so use styles for the styles for the HTML form. Okay, use style attribute. Okay, style attribute in the relevant tag. Okay, in the relevant tag. So for example, we have span tag. Okay, so if you want to apply different styles, okay, so div tag, this span tag is in div. Okay, so I want to apply different styles. Okay, span another part. Okay, so use id equal to sp1 hash sp1 and background color. Okay, so this is background color for the span. Okay, so inside div tag. So otherwise here we are using inline styles, right? So that you can use style attribute and background color is what is that, bf0 db1. Okay, so this is another part. Okay, if you want to apply CSS styles for a small piece of code, so you can use style attribute for the inline styles. And one more important concept in CSS. Okay, CSS selectors. Okay, so CSS selectors are used to apply the CSS properties for the HTML elements based on the ID, okay, class, and the element name. Okay, so these are the selectors. Okay, so these are used to selectors are used to um, element selector selects elements based on the used to apply CSS properties to the HTML forms. Okay, so first one is element selector. Okay, element selector, and third one is ID selector, and third one ID selector and class selector. Okay, so these are the three selectors available in CSS. Okay, so first of all, element selector. So the element selector selects elements based on the element name. Okay, so we can use element name to apply the CSS properties for the particular HTML element. The element selector selects elements based on the element name. Okay, so element selector selects elements based on the element name. Okay, so syntax for this. Okay, syntax. Okay, so here I want to apply CSS properties for the HTML elements by using element selector. Okay, so first of all, create an HTML form that is element selector, element selector, okay, div tag. Okay, and this is sample paragraph content. Okay, so write CSS properties, div tag. Okay, so directly we can call the HTML files in the style sheet by using element name. Okay, so next background color. Okay, so background image also you can use. Mm, okay, so background color and text color. Okay, so element selector selects elements based on the element name. So this is the element name, and finding the elements by using element name and the CSS. Okay, so now run this example. Okay, so by using element selector. Okay, so without any ID, so we can create one more. Okay, this is paragraph content 2. Okay, so two developments is there, and here we can use ID equal to div 1. Element selector. Okay, so div background color dot div 1 background color. Okay, so element selector, and this is ID selector. Okay, so using ID selector, we have to use hash symbol. Okay, hash symbol and followed by element name. Okay, so this is the element selector. Okay, so if you use element name only, okay, so this class, okay, this properties is applied for the both divs, okay, and same CSS and the same element name, right? Okay, so this is the element name, div element name, and this properties is applied to the div elements. Okay, how many div elements is there? So total div elements is applied same CSS properties. And one more thing is ID selector. So create an HTML form, ID selector. Here use div, okay, and the idea of the attribute, div ID div 1, style hash div 1. Okay, so already div 1 is there. Okay, so div tag with ID selector. Okay, so we have the ID for the div. So this class, okay, style sheet, find out the HTML element with ID div 1. Okay, hash hash symbol specify the id of the element. Okay, so this is the background color for the div2. Okay, and next one is class selector. So id selector selector selects elements based on the element id. Okay, and class selector. So this class selector selects elements selector selects elements selects elements based on the class name. Okay, class name provided by user to the HTML element. Okay, class selector. And here we can take one div tag. Okay, this div tag contains some information to display. Okay, and class equal to div 2 as div 2 and text color is red color. Okay, and the border 2 pixel and solid. Okay, so class selector selects elements based on the class name provided by user to the HTML element, like class name so class name is div2. Okay, and dot div2. So same CSS we can use. Okay, so for the class selectors use dot symbol and followed by class name. Okay, so only border is after. Okay, so border 2 pixels solid and color and text color. Okay, and first div is uploaded using ID selector. So this is class selector. Okay, and here element selector. And next textile elements. So text elements. So text elements are used to set the horizontal alignment of the text using alignment. You can set horizontal element. Okay, text. Okay, horizontal element of a text. So here uh, text elements are left side and right side. Okay, and justify. Next, justify. Okay, and center. Okay, center. So these are the text elements: right side, left side, justify, and center. Okay, so for example, create an HTML form. Okay, so elements. So paragraph, and this is sample content. Okay, so I want to display, okay, this paragraph content in the right side. Okay, so run this example. Okay, the content by default it is in left side, but I want to display this content in right side. Okay, use style tag and p selector. Okay, so p selector selects all p elements in the document. Text align right. Okay, so text is aligned to the right side. Next, I want to display text align in center tag. Center. So use center. Text align property and center value. So the content is displayed in the center align. And next, justify. Okay, justify means, so that is a block of text. Justify, that is a block of text that allows that aligns on the left side and adjusting the word and letter spaces in each line of text to make each line the same length. Okay, so this is justify element and float text align left. Okay, so by default text is aligned to the left side, so this is not recommended. Okay, so right side, center, and justify is the most important, and left side is, so by default text align is aligned to the left side. And the next one is text transformations. Okay, text transformations. So I want to display, okay, uppercase characters and lowercase characters, and each and every word first letter, okay, should be caps. Okay, so for in that scenarios you can use text transformation properties. Okay, uppercase and lowercase and capitalize. So create an HTML form. Text transformation. Text transformation. So first paragraph, ID is P1. Okay, this is first paragraph. Okay, so three paragraphs, two, three. Okay, and I want to display this paragraph content is in lowercase. Okay, so if you have this content is in uppercase, this is first paragraph. Okay, so this is first paragraph and this is second paragraph. So first of all, run this example. Okay, so as it is displaying in the browser, but we can use style dash p1 text transform uppercase. Okay, and also same as text transform property lowercase. The first paragraph I want to display is in lowercase. Okay, because total text content is in uppercase. Okay, so I want to display paragraph 2 in uppercase and paragraph 1 is in lowercase. And one more thing is, so I want to display third paragraph. Each and every word first letter should be caps. Okay, and P3 text transform capitalize. Okay, so first paragraph is displayed in lowercase. Okay, so this is lowercase and this is uppercase and this is capitalized. Okay, each and every word first letter is in caps letter.